programming series. In this video, I am solving the model question paper of Python programming, in which the subject code is 1BPLC105B bar 205B. Let us start the video. Before starting, if you are new to Explore Electronics, then subscribe it for more videos like this. In this video, I am solving this question paper. You can see model question paper 1. This is the Python programming and subject code is there. Let us start. The first question, explain the concept of type conversion in Python. Differentiate between implicit and explicit conversion with the examples. Let us see. Explain the concept of type conversion in Python. What is type conversion? You have to write the definition and differentiate between implicit and explicit conversion with the example. This is asked for 8 marks. You have to write answers in exam according to the marks allotted. Because time management is very important in exam, that's why you have to write according to the marks. Here we have to explain the type conversion in Python. Type conversion means changing the data type into another. We have to change from one data type to another data type. Values can be converted from int to float, float to int and into string. That is, we are changing the data type from one data type to another data type easily. Got it? Here we have two types in type conversion, that is implicit type conversion and explicit type conversion. Let us see one by one. It is also called as automatic conversion because done automatically by Python. Let us see in the example. Python converts smaller or low precision type into higher precision type to avoid the data loss. No need to write any function. Here it is done automatically in Python. That's why no need to write any functions. Here example A is equal to 10. It is an integer data type. And B is equal to 2.5. It is a float data type. Here C is equal to A plus B. A is an integer data type. B is a float data type. Here I have to convert. Int is converted to the float automatically. Here A is 10, B is 2.5. Integer is converted to float automatically by writing this. Okay, clear with it? It is automatically converted. That's why it is implicit type conversion. Let us see one more simple example. X is equal to 3, Y is equal to X plus 4.0. Here X is integer and Y is equal to X plus 4.0, which means it is also float. Here it is automatically converted to float. X becomes float for the calculation. Here this implicit type conversion is safe and automatic. No data loss. Data cannot be lost here. Works only when Python decides the conversion is possible. When it is possible, it directly converts. That's why it is implicit type of conversion, which is automatic. The second one is explicit type conversion, the typecasting, which means we have to do manually. Done manually by the programmer. Use built-in functions like int function, float, string and boolean function. We have to use manually. Clear? For example, string to integer. Let us convert from string to integer. A is equal to 25. Here it is a string because I have used double quotation mark here. B is equal to int of A. A is a string. I am taking int function. That's why it will convert to integer. String converted to integer. The result is B plus 5. B is 25. 25 plus 5, it will be 30. Clear with it? Let us take one more example, that is float to integer. Here X is equal to 12.7, which is float. Y is equal to integer of X. I am converting the float to integer. I am using integer function which converts the float to integer. The decimal part is removed and it is written only 12. Clear with it? Here programmer controls the conversions manually. It is manual and may cause the data loss. Here 7 is removed. That's why it can cause the data loss. Clear? Must be used when input is string. Here I am explaining with the two examples. If they have asked for 6 marks, you have to explain only one example. That's enough. And they have asked the difference between implicit and explicit. You can write whatever you know. If you don't know, once again, let's go with it. Here implicit means done automatically by Python. Explicit means done manually by the programmer. Here no special function needed. Here integer function, float, string and boolean functions are needed to convert from one data type to another data type manually. Clear? Here no data loss. Here the data loss is possible because whenever it is a float number, floating point number, and I'm converting to integer means the data loss will happen in the explicit conversion. Safe and simple, the implicit, and it must be done very carefully in explicit. For example, when I want to convert from integer to float, it is automatically done. In the case of explicit conversion, I have to use the integer function. Clear? The next question is, develop a Python program with a while loop to display the Fibonacci sequence up to n terms entered by the user. This is also asked for 8 marks. Here, Fibonacci sequence starts with 0 and 1. Next terms are generated as next is equal to first plus seconds. This is a very important step you have to remember. Use a while loop to repeat the process up to n terms. Here they have given that while loop. We have to use the while loop. Use a while loop to repeat the process up to n terms. User enters n. After that, program prints the first n Fibonacci numbers. Let us start. Program to display the Fibonacci sequence using while loop. N is equal to int, input, enter number of terms. Here user will enter a is equal to 0, b is equal to 1, count is equal to 0 initially. After that, print Fibonacci sequence while count is less than n. Here it will initialize first two Fibonacci numbers, that is a is equal to 0 and b is equal to 1. After that, use counter variable, that is count is equal to 0 in the initial stage. After that, loop until count is less than n. Here it will loop until the count is less than n. Print a end is equal to empty string. Here print the current value of a. It will print the current value of a in this step. After that, next term is equal to a plus b. It will calculate the next term, that is next term is equal to a plus b. Clear? After that, a is equal to b, that is it will update the value, that is a is equal to b and b is equal to again next term. B is equal to next term, and count is equal to count plus 1. It will keep on increase the counter. Counter is equal to counter plus 1. Here the outputs we will get are, for example, if user enters 5, the Fibonacci sequence are 0, 1, 1, 2 and 3. Clear with this? And the next question is, differentiate between the syntax error and runtime error with the example. This is asked for 4 marks. That's why according to the marks you have to write. Time management is very important. Let us start. Syntax error means error in Python grammar. If you get any error in the Python grammar, that is syntax error. Runtime error means error during the program execution. Here you can see runtime error. While running the program, you will get the error, means that is runtime error. Error during program execution. Clear? Detect before program runs. It is detected before program runs. That is syntax error. And it is detected after program starts running. When program starts running, it detects the errors. Program doesn't start. Here, if you get any syntax error, the program doesn't start. Program starts but stops suddenly. If you have any runtime error also, it will start run, but it will stop suddenly. Clear? Caused by missing brackets, colons. Here I have told that errors in Python grammar, that is missing brackets or colons, that is syntax error caused by invalid operations, that is 10 by 0, wrong input, giving wrong input, that is a runtime error. Interpreter shows error before running. The interpreter shows the errors before running, that is syntax error. Interpreter shows error while running. While running, that is runtime error. For example, print hello. I have missed the bracket here. This is a syntax error. Clear? In runtime error, 10 by 0. Here division by 0 is not possible. That's why it is a runtime error. Clear with this? Let us move to next question. Describe the Collatz 3n plus 1 sequence and explain how iteration and conditional statements are used in its implementation. This is asked for 8 marks. Let us see what is Collatz 3n plus 1 sequence. The Collatz 3n plus 1 sequence is created using these rules. Let us see. Starts with any positive number n. It starts with any positive number n. If n is even, that is n is equal to n divided by 2. We have to do this if n is even. If n is odd, we have to do n is equal to 3n plus 1. We have to do. Repeat these steps until n becomes 1. If n is even, we have to do this one. If n is odd, we have to do this one. Until n becomes 1, we have to repeat these steps. Clear? For example, n is equal to 6 I have taken. 6 is a positive number and 6 is a even number. That's why I have to do these steps. N is equal to n divided by 2. 6 divided by 2, I will get 3. Clear? I have 6. It is an even number. That's why n by 2, which means 6 by 2, I will get 3. 3 is the odd number. That's why 3 into n, which means 3 into 3, I will get 9. 9 plus 1, I will get 10. That's why 10 here. 10 is again an even number. That's why n by 2, I will get 5. 5 is an odd number. That's why 3 into 5, I will get 15. 15 plus 1, again 16. 16 is again even number. That's why it will continue. It will repeat these steps until n becomes 1. Clear? This is a 3n plus 1 sequence. Clear? Use of iteration here. Here we use the iterations, that is, iteration means repeating the steps. Here we are repeating the steps, right? If it is odd, I am doing this step. If it is even, I am doing these steps. Which means I am repeating that again and again until it becomes 1. Clear? In Collatz, we keep changing n again and again. N is changed again and again. 8, again it is even. I am doing these steps again. The value is changed. N value is keep on changing. We use a while loop because we don't know how many steps it takes. We are using while loop here because we don't know how many steps we are going to do this. We are going to repeat this. That's why we are using while loop. Loop continues until n becomes 1. You have seen here, the loop continues until n becomes 1. Very clear with it? Use of conditional statements, that is if else. We are using if else statement to choose the correct rule. Let us see, if n is even, divide by 2. Here we have n is even. I am dividing the n by 2. Clear? If n is odd, multiply by 3. I am multiplying the n by 3 and adding 1. Clear? Here, if else helps to decide which formula to apply each time. I am using if else condition statement to decide which formula to use. Clear? Let us see a program. Here I am taking a simple Python program, that is n is equal to int input, enter a number. Here the input should be integer because we are taking number. Here user enters a number. While n is not equal to 1, while loop runs until n becomes 1. Clear? Here we are using while loop which runs n becomes 1. Print n and n is equal to a blank space, which means it will print the n. If n modulus of 2 equal to 0, which means here if checks the even number and divide by 0. Here it will check the even number. If it is even, it will divide by 2. Clear? Here it will check it whether it is even. If it is even, then it will do this procedure. Else it will do n is equal to 3 into n plus 1. Clear? We will enter a number. After that, it will repeat until n becomes 1 and it will print that number as it is. After that, it will check whether the number is equal to 2, whether the number is equal to even, whether the number is even. If it is even, it will divide by 2, or else which is odd, then it will do 3 into n plus 1. Clear? Let us go to the next question, that is develop a program that print all numbers from 1 to 100 that are divisible by 3 or 5 but not the both. Use the continue or break statement whenever suitable. Let us see here. We have to print all the numbers from 1 to 100 which is divisible by 3 or 5, not the both. We have to use continue and break statement whenever is possible. Program to print from 1 to 100 divisible by 3 or 5 but not the both. Let us see. For I in range 1 to 101, I am taking the range 1 to 101. It loops from 1 to 100. Clear? I am taking this step. The next step is if I modulus of 3 equal to 0 and I modulus of 5 equal to 0. Which means here, if the number is divisible by 3 or 5, it will continue. Clear? After that, if it is divisible by 3 or 5, it will print the numbers. Print the number divisible by 3 or 5. Clear? If I equal to 0, which means the range is completed. We have taken till 100 only. That's why it will break the loop immediately. It will break the loop after reaching 100. Clear with the example? Next, move to the second C question. What is meant by function composition? Illustrate with an example. Here, function composition means combining two functions so that the output of the function becomes the input of another function. Function composition means one function has another function inside it and one function output is the input for another function. Let us see how exactly. In Python, we do this by calling one function inside another. We will call one function inside another function. Clear? Let us see with an example. Define square of x, return x into x. Here, and one more function that is define add 2 of x, return x plus 2. Again, result is equal to add 2 square of 3. Here, I am taking square and add 2. Add 2 is already there and square. When I print the result, it will become like square of 3. It will print first this one, square of 3, which means 9. I am calculating here, which means 9. After that, add 2 means add 2 of 9. 9 is there. Square of 3 means it will become 9. Add 2 of 9 means it will become 11. 9 plus 2, it will become 11. This is the solution I will get. Clear? Here square of 3 means I will get 9. This output is input to this function. Clear? 9 is a output. This output is a input to the add 2. Clear? When I add 2 to that 9, I will get 11. The output is 11. Very clear?